I loved my wife, trusted her, built a life and a home for our kids. She left me and our 2 children for a 25-year-old bartender, draining $70,000 from our savings. I didn't scream. I didn't beg. I did what I do best, planned. The research trip had gone well. 2 days collecting samples at Lake Texoma for Oklahoma State University, clean data, good results. I pulled into our driveway in Norman expecting the usual chaos. Clara's violin practice bleeding through the windows, Devin sprawling across the couch with homework scattered like debris. Instead, I found Nora dragging suitcases down the stairs. "Going somewhere?" I asked, setting my field equipment on the kitchen counter. She didn't look at me. "I've found someone who understands me, Eric. Someone who sees my potential." I made coffee while she packed. Force of habit. "How much did you take from the account?" "What I needed." "How much, Nora?" "70,000. The number hit harder than the cheating. I sipped my coffee and started planning. That evening, I sat the kids down. Clara, 13 and sharp as her mother used to be. Devin, 11, still believing adults made sense. "Your mom's decided to leave," I said. "She's exploring other options." "Is she coming back?" Devin asked. "I don't know." Clara crossed her arms. "She took money, didn't she?" "Smart girl." "Yes." "Are we going to be okay?" "We're going to be better than okay." After they went to bed, I changed the locks, moved our remaining funds to a new account, screenshot her Instagram stories, already posting photos with some kid who looked like he'd struggled to spell responsibility. I called my friend Marcus, who happened to be the best divorce lawyer in Oklahoma City. "She cleaned out 70,000 and left with a bartender," I told him. "Jesus, Eric, I'm sorry." "Don't be sorry, get angry, then get even." The next few days passed like a controlled experiment. No calls to the children, just party photos online. Nora dancing on tables in some Tulsa dive bar, kissing the kid in bathroom mirrors, living her authentic life. Devin punched his bedroom wall hard enough to leave knuckle prints. "It's okay to be angry," I told him, examining the drywall damage. "Anger tells us something matters." "Why doesn't she call?" "Because she's not thinking about us right now." "Will she ever?" I looked at my son's face. So much trust still there, waiting to be broken or built upon. "I don't know, but we don't need her to call to be a family." My neighbor knocked that afternoon. Awkward smile, shifting feet. "Eric, I probably should have mentioned this earlier, but I saw that boyfriend's beat-up Camaro here a few times when you were up at the lake." "Which times?" "The night before your last research trip, and maybe twice the week before." I thanked him and added the information to my growing file. This wasn't jealousy. It was evidence. The private investigator's report made for ugly reading. Christopher, the bartender, had been fired from 3 bars for theft, 2 DUI arrests in Creek County, debt spread across 4 credit companies. A real winner. I cut Nora's cards, updated her address to whatever trailer park she was living in now, severed every financial connection between us. Clean cuts heal fastest. Her sister called from Texas. "Eric, I'm so sorry. We had no idea she was capable of this." "People are always capable, Ingrid. We just choose not to see it." "She was always restless, but we thought marriage would settle her." "Marriage isn't a cage. It's a choice you make every day." She stopped choosing. Meanwhile, Clara started seeing a therapist. Devin joined the youth sailing program at Lake Thunderbird. Something about being on the water helped him process. Kids are more resilient than adults think, especially when they see one parent fighting for stability instead of drama. News filtered back through mutual friends. Nora had moved to Tulsa, chasing some fantasy about becoming a DJ. She was paying rent for a studio above a pizza joint, performing sets for drink tickets. In an ecosystem, when a predator leaves, the prey doesn't mourn. It thrives. Marcus called with an update. "Oklahoma's pretty straightforward on this stuff. Full custody for you, child support from her if she ever finds real work, repayment of the stolen funds, and the house stays yours. She can try to fight it, but with her current lifestyle..." "What about visitation?" "Supervised only if the court even grants that." The system was working exactly as it should. Then she showed up at Clara's middle school in Norman. The principal called me at the university. Dr. Lindqvist, we've had to escort your wife off campus. She attempted to take Clara without authorization. I found my daughter in the school office, pale but composed. She smelled like alcohol, Clara said quietly, and she kept saying I belonged with her, that you'd poisoned me against her. What did you tell her? That she poisoned herself. My daughter, 13 years old, had more wisdom than her mother ever would. The final confrontation came on a Tuesday night. Oklahoma thunderstorm hammering the windows like accusations, wind tearing at the trees we'd planted when the kids were small. The doorbell rang at 11:30. I knew who it would be before I looked through the peephole. Nora stood there with a duct-taped suitcase, mascara running, looking like every bad decision she'd ever made. I opened the door but didn't step aside. Eric, please. I made a mistake. Christopher. He wasn't what I thought. He stole from me too. I have nowhere else to go. Behind her, Ingrid waited in a rental car. She'd driven up from Dallas. I know, I said. I had you investigated weeks ago. Her face crumpled. The kids need their mother. They needed their mother 6 months ago. Now they need stability. Clara appeared at the top of the stairs in her OU pajamas. Dad? What's happening? Your mother's saying goodbye. Nora tried to push past me. Clara, honey, I'm back. I'm sorry. I want to come home. My daughter looked down at this woman who'd given birth to her, who'd once braided her hair and helped with homework. Then she said with perfect clarity, we don't need you anymore. Devin appeared beside his sister. Same words, we don't need you. I handed Nora the boxes I'd prepared, her belongings, legal documents taped to the top. The court date is next month. Your lawyer has the details. She stared at me like I was a stranger. Maybe I was. Maybe the man she'd married would have begged her to stay, would have taken her back, would have taught the children that love meant accepting whatever scraps someone chose to throw. But that man had died the day she walked out with $70,000 and our children's trust. This isn't you, Eric. No, I said, closing the door between us. This is exactly me. The lock clicked. Final. Complete. I turned to find Clara and Devin watching me, and for the first time in months, the house felt perfectly quiet. Not empty. Quiet. The difference between silence and peace. Is it over? Devin asked. I listened to Ingrid's car pulling away, carrying the woman who'd once been their mother into whatever consequences awaited her in the Oklahoma night. Yes, I said, it's over.